Alright, the time is now. Here we are with the ultimate comic book guest character tier list in Mortal Kombat, or however the hell we would phrase it. We got over 1,300 comments from y'all, and thankfully for my sanity, a lot of them were repeats. But I'm gonna warn you guys right now, I am not super familiar with everybody that was recommended. So I might bring someone up like, man, Tits McGee kind of really reminds me of Captain Ballsack. Don't comment, oh, Tits McGee is nothing like Captain Ballsack, dumbass! Because I will ignore you. And if you see or hear any of these characters and go, oh, I've never heard of them before, they sound cool, I want to look them up. I'll have the name and source listed on the little icon I pop up on the screen, so you can research it out for yourself if you're curious. Also, this ranking is based on my personal opinions, the score's made up, and the points don't matter, let's go! Make sure y'all got a snack handy, because this is gonna take a minute. And we're starting off with a freaking home run here, with Deadpool. Flawless choice. And remember a minute ago I said there was a lot of repeats? Yeah, about half of the comments all said Deadpool, because, obviously, everything about Deadpool is perfect for a Mortal Kombat character. His weapons, his personality, his knack for brutality, he would just be flawless. Next up is Soldier Boy from The Boys, and I'm gonna give him good because I feel like I like Soldier Boy, but I feel like he would just be Peacemaker with a chest beat. Now I suppose this is the part where I say this is not specifically a tier list for Mortal Kombat 1. If any of these people were to show up in Mortal Kombat 2 or 12 or whatever it would be called, that'd still be cool, but I'm just saying. Then we got one that I'm a little biased towards, Rorschach from The Watchmen. Go watch my 3 DC characters video for a full explanation of why I think he would be cool. But yeah, flawless. The Flash, I'm gonna give him good, because he's not really a killer, and we already have Cabal, but he's not bad. The Last Ronin from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Some TMNT representation, and finally get some mainstream acknowledgement that the comics are way darker, like all you dorks like to point out. I'm just teasing, you know I love you. Venom! Yeah. Absolutely. I love Venom, and he loves eating people, so he'd be a perfect fit. Then we got Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead, the pinnacle of he's just a guy. Sorry, I'm gonna say me. The Mask from The Mask. A cartoony lunatic using Bugs Bunny powers to murder people would definitely be the most unique character in Mortal Kombat history. I'm gonna say flawless. Billy Butcher. Have the Homelander showdown, and if he's beat up, he can easily stand toe-to-toe with the roster. I'm gonna put him as great, though. Carnage! More murderous than Venom, but Venom is cooler and more popular, so he'll go into great. Guts from Berserk. If they were ever going to have one single manga representative in a Mortal Kombat roster, Guts would be the perfect pick. Except for maybe one other guy, which we'll get to. Flawless. Doctor Doom from Marvel. Foot dive, foot dive, foot dive. He'll go great. Deathstroke. Slade Wilson, the only DC character to kill somebody in MK vs. DCU. He's got his chops, but I'm still gonna say good. Perfect Cell from Dragon Ball Z. This one just kind of gives me another good vibe, you know? Kick-Ass from Kick-Ass. Is he just a guy? Yeah. But also he's got a lot of tools at his disposal, he's beaten up plenty of people in his day, and I just think it would be funny. I'm gonna put him in a great because you can't stop me. Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. Bending the rules here a little bit, but there are Snake Eyes comics, and he's really freaking cool, so sue me. He goes into great. Chainsaw Man, the other perfect manga representative on this list. He's even more brutal and more visceral than Guts, just by the nature of being covered in chainsaws. He gets a flawless. Magneto, I'll put him as a good, no great elaboration here. Red Hood from DC, bringing some of that gun fu to the Mortal Kombat roster to scratch that itch that John Wick fans will never fully have scratched. He goes into great. Captain Underpants from Captain Underpants. Personally, I would love it, I think it would be amazing, but realistically, nah. Moon Knight from Marvel. He would be flawless if the memes were more true to life, but as he is now, he'll go into great. Lobo from DC. Literally the perfect pick for a DC character in an MK game. Again, go see my 3 character thingy. Lobo would be freaking perfect. Hit Girl from Kick-Ass. Is she just a girl? No, she is Hit Girl. It was Nicolas Cage's Force Ghost guiding her. She could absolutely kick ass. Great. The King in Black from Marvel. I dig the look, he'd probably fit pretty well, but I'm just not feeling super strongly about it, so he'll go into good. Doomsday from DC. I love me a big hulking brute, but he is nowhere near the top of the list of DC characters I want to see in a Mortal Kombat game. He's not bad, so he'll just go into good. Injustice Superman. He's already been set up through the plot of the Injustice games and the crossovers with Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Raiden, but also we literally already have 2 other evil Supermans, but also it would be cool. He goes into great. Hellboy from Dark Horse Comics. He fit well in Injustice, he'd fit even better in Mortal Kombat, let's be real. Lady Death from Chaos Comics. Great. Alucard from Hellsing. Can't go wrong with a good, crazy vampire, but I don't know enough about him to rank him higher than a good. Batman from Flashpoint specifically. Love the idea of a Batman going around killing people viciously. If you're gonna have him do it, Flashpoint Batman is the best option. He'll go into great. Judge Dredd from Dark Horse Comics, because fucking obviously. Flawless. Nemesis, Reloaded from Image Comics. Screw this guy for personal reasons that I will not be divulging here, but he's a fine choice, so good. Ghost Rider. Flaming Skull Motorcycle Man is cool. great. The MAXX. I absolutely dig this guy on just design alone, and from the little bit of research that I did, he seems like he'd fit pretty well. He seems like he could murder a couple people, so he'll get great as well. Wolverine from Marvel. All right, bub, we know he would be a perfect pick, especially if it was Old Man Logan. Flawless. Invincible from Invincible. Not a bad choice, but we already have Omni-Man, and if I were to pick a second Invincible character to put in MK, it wouldn't be Mark. Still not a bad choice, so a good. Savage Dragon from Image Comics. A very niche pick that a surprising number of you were championing. I saw a lot more people say Savage Dragon than I did Punisher, and he seems pretty cool. I'll put him into great. Midnighter from DC. Yeah, it's good. Yujiro Hanma from Baki the Grappler. On appearance alone, I would put him in a great, but just Google some of the shit that this dude's done, and we got a flawless pick here. Hamlet from the No Fear Shakespeare graphic novels, which I didn't know was a thing. Really cool, I appreciate the deep dive, but he's still gonna go into meh, to be honest. I appreciate it though. Goku from Dragon Ball Z. A lot of y'all might not agree with this, but it's the John Wick principle. Does he kill people? Yes. But he doesn't relish it. He doesn't do things that are like overly sadistic. He doesn't rip someone's heart out and then laugh about it. He just doesn't feel like a one-to-one fit with the brutal world of Mortal Kombat, where, you know, grotesque violence is just the norm. So he's not bad, I'll put him into good, but yeah. Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now here's somebody who kills people in brutal ways and relishes it. I believe he'd be a very high execution and very entertaining character. I'm gonna put Dio into flawless. Gina from Solo Leveling. This one I had some problems researching, but from what I found, she seems kind of cool, so voted in good. Stain from My Hero Academia, also good, don't have a lot to say. Millions Knives from Trigun. I bet everyone who loves Trigun will tell me to go f myself on this one, but I just don't really feel it. Mahito from Jujutsu Kaisen. Seems cool enough, got some cool stuff going on. Good. Kira from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Decent pick, but of all the JJBA characters, there are a lot better ones. So good. Rom the Space Knight from IDW Publishing. Rom the Space Knight is cool. I like Rom the Space Knight. Great. Zod from DC. He's fine. Good. Rosito Nero from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. C. Kira. Bulletproof Ghost from The Bulletproof Ghost. I had never heard of this one before, but he seems neat. MK hasn't had a ghost before either, so Vampirella from Dynamite Entertainment. A way better female vampire than Natara, and one of the most iconic women in the history of non-superhero comics. She would be a fantastic pick, and I'm gonna put her into great. Gambit from Marvel. I love Gambit. Growing up, he was my favorite X-Man, and he's kind of, chaotic lawful, so I don't think he would be entirely opposed to blowing someone's face off with his cards. He goes into flawless, and you can't stop me. Witchblade from Image Comics. She seems pretty cool, but again, don't feel strongly, so good. Doctor Strange from Marvel. The classic problem with a lot of characters is I don't think he would be down to grotesquely murder people. Plus, there's just a lot of Marvel characters that I would pick before him, you know? Berserker from Boom Studios. Knowing little to nothing about him, but doing some research, I get hardcore Punisher vibes. And Punisher is cool, so Berserker gets a good. Bloodshot from Valiant Comics. Now, Cyborg Punisher? Hell yeah, sign me up. Great. But you can't beat the original. The Punisher from Marvel is basically already a Mortal Kombat character, just change him from being a cop to Special Forces, and change his enemy from the Mafia to the Black Dragon, and boom, he's basically a freaking perfect fit already. So yeah, he's flawless pick, Punisher would be amazing. Someone else who was amazing but doesn't get enough credit, Xena Warrior Princess from Dark Horse Comics. Most of you might know her from the TV show that was late 90s, early 2000s. Of all the women on this list, and many of the men, Xena would stand the best chance in a toe-to-toe fight against anybody on the MK roster. I'm gonna put her into flawless because she's just kind of a badass. Battle Beast from Invincible. If I were to pick one other Invincible character to be in Mortal Kombat, it would be Battle Beast. I'm gonna put him into great. He's got a fantastic design, if nothing else. Hassan Isaban from Fate. On look alone, I'm gonna put him into good. Scarecrow from DC would be a freaking perfect DC guest character that I'm ashamed I keep forgetting about whenever we talk about guest characters and comic characters in Mortal Kombat. Scarecrow would be a freaking flawless pick. One Punch Man, but how would he fight? Just one hit and the fight's over. Good. Toji Fushiguro from Jujutsu Kaisen. He's a fine pick. He looks cool. Good. Blade from Marvel. Another vampire that is better than Megan Fox Natara. Great. Zagor from, and let me see if I can read this correctly, Sergio Bonelli Editor. Don't know if I pronounced that right. These are some old frickin' comics. But he just kind of gives me another vibe. Doesn't do a lot of hardcore murdering. He's kind of neat, but again, just a meh. Harley Quinn from DC. I've explained this one a lot, but the point is, she would be perfect, flawless. Gwen from the Girl Scouts. Now, this one is a deep pull, and I appreciate it. From a little bit of research I did, seems like she would fit in perfectly fine. I'm gonna give her a great just because, again, I appreciate the pull, and she looks like she'd fit. Plastic Man from DC. Good, but don't love it, so good. Big B Wolf from Fables. Hey, Mortal Kombat's never had a werewolf before. put him into great. John Constantine from DC, another great pick that we constantly forget about when discussing guests. I think that Constantine would fit in really, really well in the Mortal Kombat roster, so put him into great. The Crow from IDW Publishing. One that I keep forgetting was a frickin' comic in the first place. The Crow would be rad as hell and would fit the archetype of characters with unique powers who don't mind murdering people that MK was built off of. So the Crow is gonna go into flawless. Nightwing from DC. Not quite murderous enough, you know? There are a lot of others who would fit a lot better, some of which we'll get to later. Hayaki Maru from Dior. Know almost nothing about him, but he seems neat. So good. Mr. Bones from DC. Skeleton Man? Hell yeah, great. The Wall from Marvel. Funny. It's funny, but no. Squirrel Girl would be pretty cool. I would love to see a fatality where you're just overrun with squirrels and just have your flesh all eaten, but I can't in good conscience put her above a good. PITT from Full Bleed Studios. This right here looks like something off of a metal album cover. This looks like something that would be hanging out with the guy from Disturbed. And just look at it like this is a guy who would disembowel somebody while laughing. I'm gonna put him into great. Conan the Barbarian. Timely, who's apparently a Marvel character? I didn't know that. One of the inspirations for Shao Kahn, and one of the most brutal murderers on this wrist. And obvious flawless. Jackie Estacado from The Darkness. Not even sure this one's a comic, I couldn't find definitive proof. Good. Meh. Bloodsport from DC. And it's at this point in the list, I realized I didn't see anybody say Deadshot. Thank you, Will Smith. Bloodsport gets a good. Shadowhawk from Image Comics. Probably one of my favorite costumes on the list. He's like if Darkhawk and Wolverine had a love child. He would be pretty cool. Not a perfect pick, so I'll put him into great. Iron Man. Like it, but don't love it. Nah, good. Manji from Blade of the Immortal. Samurais are neat. Good. Wonder Woman. If it's the Injustice one, a little bit better of a shot, makes a little more sense. Otherwise, so good. Mike Milligram from The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys National Anthem. Hell of a mouthful. He seemed fine. Good. We got Thorn Harvester, or Harvestar, I don't know how you pronounce it, from Bone. I wasn't super familiar with this one, so I'm gonna put her into me. And then we got Popeye the Sailor Man from the King Feature Syndicate, and give him a suspension he could wallop Shang Tsung. Great. And our final installment on this little list, we've got Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I've kind of come around on Shredder. Initially I thought, he doesn't really fit. He looks cool, but But you know what? Screw it, he is awesome. He's got an amazing look, he's a total badass, and he's way more vicious than most kids' villains. Plus we already had kind of a guest starring role as the best Sub-Zero skin in MK Deception. It would be really freaking awesome to see him in a Mortal Kombat game. And he's not completely unrealistic either, because the TMNT Turtles themselves were an Injustice. He gets a flawless. And there we go, that is the full hefty list based off of all of y'all's recommendations. We're gonna go back through it real quick, starting from the bottom of Meh and going to the top of Flawless. We've got Thorn Harvester, The Wall, Nightwing, Zagor, Doctor Strange, Millions Knives, Hamlet, Captain Underpinch, Rick Grimes. Getting up into good, Mike Milligram, Wonder Woman, Manji, Iron Man, Bloodsport, Jackie Estacado, Squirrel Girl, Heiyakimaru, Plastic Man, Toji Fugishigoro, One Punch Man, Hassan Iseban, Berserker, Witchblade, The Bulletproof Ghost, Rizito Nero, Zod, Kira, Mahito, Stain, Ginyu/Gina, Goku, Midnighter, Invincible, Nemesis Reloaded, Alucard, Doomsday, King in Black, Perfect Cell, Deathstroke, The Flash, Soldier Boy. Getting up into great, Popeye the Sailor Man, Shadowhawk, PITT, Mr. Bones, John Constantine, Big B Wolf, Gwen, Blade, Battle Beast, Bloodshot, Vampirella, Rom the Space Knight, Savage Dragon, The MAXX, Ghost Rider, Batman, Flashpoint, Lady Death, Hellboy, Injustice Superman, Hit Girl, Moon Knight, Red Hood, Snake Eyes, Kick-Ass, Doctor Doom, Carnage, Billy Butcher in The Last Ronin. And up into Flawless, we've got Shredder, Conan the Barbarian, The Crow, Harley Quinn, Scarecrow, Xena Warrior Princess, The Punisher, Gambit, Dio Brando, Yujiro Hanma, Wolverine, Judge Dredd, Lobo, Chainsaw Man, Guts, The Mask, Venom, Rorschach, Deadpool. Of all these characters, my top 3 would probably be Punisher, Chainsaw Man, Xena Warrior Princess. That'd be a pretty badass lineup, and finally get some ladies in the DLC. What do you think about this rating and list? Let me know. And thank you to everybody who contributed. This was fun to go through, and I've gotten some great reading recommendations just by browsing through all this stuff. Like the MAXX seems really cool. Bulletproof Ghost seemed like a lot of fun, and I didn't even know Xena Warrior Princess was a comic. I thought it was just a show. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know. Deppa dep.